Sam from Being Mommy with Style, and today I'm going to do a question and answer video. So I haven't done one of these in the longest time, and I decided, you know what, life's kind of in flux right now. Let's sit down and do a question and answer video. I actually really enjoy these. It's just kind of fun to think about things that I maybe don't talk about a lot in the vlogs. And even though you do day in the life vlogs and you're kind of filming little spurts of your day, you leave out quite a bit. So it's kind of interesting to see what things people have questions about from the things that they do or don't see, if that makes sense. So anyways, I have some questions over here on YouTube that were really good. I also put a call for questions on Instagram, and I think I have quite a few right now, so we'll just have a chat today. I've got my Turvis cup here. I decided to get one of these. I normally exclusively use these for work, but since I am just basically at home right now, I thought, you know what, we're gonna use a Turvis cup with some water in it today for a drink. So I have a way to not lose my voice in the middle of doing the video, but I guess we'll start there. So if you're new to my channel, welcome, or if it's been a little while and you're catching up, I did go back to work full-time a few years ago, and about a year ago, I went over to a company that I really, really love, in a position that I really, really love, and everything was going great. And then COVID happened, and so I am currently furloughed, and that's kind of obviously the reason why I've been able to vlog more, we're able to do more day in the lives. So that's kind of a happy silver lining behind all of this. But it does look like this will be kind of a long-term thing, so hopefully you guys don't mind me sticking around for a little while. The nice thing is I'm really invested in the company that I work for. I really believe in their mission, and they have given me an idea of what kind of my future looks like there, which I really appreciate. So I'm very invested in, you know, sticking through the situation and just making the most of it, and I'm fortunate to be in a situation where I can do that. So that being said, I don't think I will be going back to work full-time anytime soon, so this is my new life. And, you know, it's just kind of, we'll see what happens in the fall and the winter with COVID, and I don't think anyone knows what happens with that. So that's kind of that. I don't really, that wasn't one of the questions, but I wanted to kind of fill you in if you've kind of come and gone and you're kind of wondering where I'm at in life. The kids have both been in school full-time for like 3 years now. Natalie's going to be in 3rd grade, Isabella's going to be in 5th grade. And that kind of brings me to the first question. So this is kind of a good place to start. So Brittany on YouTube asked, are the girls' schools going back to in-class learning when school starts again? And the answer there is, I don't know yet. So our school district has not announced any plan. They did open a virtual academy where you could do that, enroll in that full time if you so just choose to. We are waiting to make our decision until the school announces what they're planning on doing this year. That being said, I don't know when they're planning on announcing that. So it's still a big surprise for us, and I don't know what it's gonna look like. I'm hoping that we know. I mean, it's the middle of June now, so I'm hoping that we know by sometime early July, just to kind of be able to mentally prepare. But they're not supposed to go back to school till August, so we're waiting to see what that's gonna look like. And then she had a follow-up question about how do I feel about them going back to in-class learning, and how do I feel about the possibility of them wearing masks all day long. So this is a lot to unpack, and this is gonna be a long video, by the way, so pull up a chair. If they have the option and it seems safe to send them back to the classroom, we will probably heavily weigh to that side. If it doesn't seem safe, or the school district mandates that we have to do school at home, or like our cases are going up in Alabama right now. I'm really nervous about this, guys, because if the cases keep going how they are, I don't even see how they're gonna be able to go back in August, really, honestly. But anyhow, you know, we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens and then make our decision then. And I think that's the boat that literally everyone's in. As far as them wearing masks, I mean, we are wearing masks here as we go out. Like I said, our cases are on the rise here in our particular area and in Alabama as a whole. So we are wearing masks anytime we're going out. We've actually tried to self-quarantine as much as possible because we are planning on going up to Illinois soon. So we are trying to just stay to ourselves as much as possible and prepare for going up there. And so I think the reality of them going back to school, if they're able to go to the classroom, I think they're 100% going to be going in mask. So the business where my job is, and pretty much any public business around here, is requiring a mask. And I think that's just kind of the reality of where we're at in the middle of a pandemic that's still escalating. So the one reservation that I have is, you know, so previously when I was working full-time before any of this happened, and let me just put a caveat on there that even if they went back to school all day long, I don't think I'm going back to work full-time in the fall or winter anyways, because it's affecting our business. So I don't see me going back to work full-time until 2021 anyways. But, you know, the situation we were in before, they were going to school all day long, and then they went to like an after-school care thing as well. And I don't even think that's going to be available this year, but I know for certain if they're wearing a mask all day in school, I can't see putting them in like an after-school care or sending them to an after-school care and then being expected to wear it for those additional hours of the day. So that was a decision I had already made. If they're going to be doing the social distancing, they're going to be doing the mask. I luckily work at a very flexible, great place to work now. I do believe it would be within the realm, if I was expected or asked to go back to work, that I could work out my schedule to where I could be able to pick them up and not have to do the after school care. There's so many unknowns because right now they canceled all of the summer camps and all of the after school care for next year anyways. So this all could be a moot point. So I guess maybe I'll revisit this at the end of the summer and see where we're at, and I'll kind of fill you in, but I think it's just a lot of unknowns for a lot of school districts right now. Good questions, Brittany. So also Raising Rayburns over on YouTube said, how is your mental health doing during all of this? She said she's working from home exclusively now, so she gets that between working and the kiddos, being at home mainly, it's just a lot and it's difficult to adjust, and I completely agree with that. So I'd say that this has been, it has its ups and its downs. So I'm trying to appreciate the extra time to be able to do things like make videos, like do things like this that I wouldn't have had otherwise, and to be able to spend time with the kids and appreciate that we can do projects and crafts again. And that's really nice. It is stressful because I don't know what the long-term effects of this are going to be. I don't know what it's going to be on my career. I don't know what it's going to be on the kids long-term. No one can really answer that question. I mean, no one can say what's going to be the long-term effect of a generation that may effectively not be in a classroom for a year and a half of their lives. And so that kind of not knowing what the long-term effect of this could totally, you know, ruin my career, which if it does, it does. But, you know, what long-term effect is it going to have on that? What long-term, that stress, I mean, you can literally probably already hear me like ramping up. Like that gives me anxiety. So those are new things that I've never had to stress about before. I think that, you know, I really appreciated being back in an office with adults, and I really enjoyed that. And now I'm back in a situation where, you know, my husband's here and he's working from home, and it's nice to see him more too. So that's been good because we've been able to bond more. But, you know, I really enjoy like being in the office with the gals, and I miss that. I really miss that. So to answer your question directly, my mental health is up and down. There's definitely some mental struggles in this because it's difficult, and I don't want to sound whiny, but there's days where I just get really stressed to a point where I'm like, I don't know how much longer I can do this. And then eventually I, you know, go back on the upswing and go, well, you're just gonna have to suck it up because there's a lot of people that have way worse situations, and just gotta make the most of it. But, you know, being a planner, the unknown is stressful. So I just try to take it day by day because I think that that helps with maintaining a more positive mental attitude than it would be otherwise. So I'm gonna go over to Instagram now. Comments are rolling in over here, so that's exciting. I'll try to get some happy ones too. I don't know if there's any happy ones. But on the subject of school, and there was a couple questions about being a stay-at-home mom on here and what aspects of that I missed as well. So Bridge Tennis asked, did the school situation get better when you moved schools? So meaning like when we moved and went into a different school district. And are you still enjoying Alabama? So let's unpack this one a little bit. So if you haven't, so the problem with being a vlogger is like you say things in passing in videos, and so if someone's missed like, you know, those vlogs, and I don't expect anyone in the world to have watched all 2,000 of my videos, trust me. Not even my husband's done that. I understand that there's like communication that doesn't really get conveyed. So to follow up on that, absolutely panned out how we were hoping to. The vibe that we got from the school over here was absolutely correct, and no regrets on moving over here. It's been fantastic. The kids have flourished. Of course, we're in a different situation right now with not being able to go to the school. But in the time that we were in the school and in the classroom, the teachers were amazing, the district was amazing, and it feels like the right fit. So the district we were in before was more testing oriented and testing. The other thing that it was that I didn't ever talk about before, but it was not very diverse in the teacher wise. And so the move over here was really, really good because I felt a lot of creative energy and I felt a lot of excitement behind the teachers being in the classroom and just the care that they took. And when I walked into, Isabella's a science teacher, you know, didn't know anything about the teachers specifically, you know, knew just from the vibe of the school tours and seeing how the kids were interacting and how excited the kids were. You know, the other school, the kids would kind of walk in the hallways and they were kind of like sunk in on themselves. I just got a really, really kind of overall bad vibe, and then the kids started not liking school, and I was like, they're way too young to start hating school. I mean, they were like kindergarten and second grade at that point. But anyhow, much more positive vibe. Like the kids, you could tell were excited to be there. It seemed like the teachers were interacting. No one got announced that we were there for school tour. I mean, we were literally just walking through at a random time of day and we got to see what we got to see. So I got really good vibes from it, and that panned out. And there is a diverse set of teachers in this district, which I really appreciate. It was one of the subsets of things that I was hoping to find. So it's been a really, really good move for a number of different things that we were looking for. A more inspired learning, more project focus, more excitement about learning, and less focus on tests. And that's really what we were looking for and what works best for us. May not be right for everyone, but it was absolutely worth the move, and I would do it all over again. It's really scary to like pick up and like move specifically for a school, but I would absolutely do it all over again. She also asked, are you still enjoying Alabama? And I would say yes, more and more every day. I love this area here. It's really, really pretty. We also moved to a more scenic area, so it's got more of the rolling hills and kind of more what I envision Alabama would look like. And so I really enjoy this area that we're in. It's very scenic and kind of a little bit calming. I don't know how else to put that. The area we were in before, above and beyond the school stuff, it was very chaotic. It was just kind of a lot of traffic lights, a lot of electric lines, and just a lot of hustle and bustle, and that's not how I like my hustle and bustle. Put it that way. I like where we're at, and there's a lot of nature. Vanessa asked, and actually there was two variations of this. So Vanessa asked, do you miss being a stay-at-home mom? And then someone else down here asked, Bethany asked, what do you miss the most about being a stay-at-home mom? So what do I miss the most, and do I miss it? So I would say definitely having the extra time with the kids. I miss that part of it. But when the kids were school age and both of them were in school, I always knew I'd be going back to work, because on a regular year, not right now obviously, but on a regular year, the kids are off at school for like 7 hours a day, and I've always had an ambition to work and kind of use my skills and whatever talents I was given to further a purpose out there, and so I feel very driven to do that. So I always knew I was going to be going back to work in some facet. I just didn't really know where I was going to end up. That being said, I really, really love where I am now, and hoping, you know, this turbulence in the world right now, that it all works out. So I kind of had to give that time up with the girls once they went off to school anyways. Hopefully that makes sense. That being said, it's kind of nice to be able to spend more time with them right now. That is nice. What I miss about being a stay-at-home mom is not being rushed constantly. So I think the working moms will understand this, but I know if you're a stay-at-home mom and you have like practices and stuff like that, like you're trying to get to that, you're trying to get to the next thing. You got dance class, you got, you know, basketball or whatever the case may be. That's how your entire life feels when you're working. So like from the minute you get up in the morning, like you're on a timeline and you have to get ready, and then you have to eat breakfast quickly, and then you have to hit certain time points to get places at certain times and then get to work on time. And that is a constant stress when you're working, especially one place I worked. they were like butts in seats by a certain time. And if you were not butt in seat by a certain time, even if you were one of the managers, it was very, very frowned upon. And that was just a lot of emotional stress. Luckily, the place I work now is a lot better emotionally about understanding you have a life outside of work. But anyways, I digress. Well, we're not going to get into that conversation today. But, you know, so when you do work someplace that has more of a work-life balance, I mean, work-life balance doesn't exist. I mean, you live and you work and you have a life. I mean, it should all be cohesive. So that's the thing. One of the things I love about where I work now is because they understand you have a life and you have a family and that you can work and have these things dynamically working together. But you do always kind of feel rushed. I always feel rushed. I'm always, you know, trying to get to the next thing, rushing to meetings. I'm, you know, trying to get to childcare before it closes. You're just always kind of on the timeline. That's kind of been one of the big silver linings of this whole situation is that I've been able to slow down. I don't feel rushed as often. I still have meetings on the computer, but that's been probably one of the biggest things I miss about being a stay-at-home mom is not having that slower pace. That being said, I'm getting it right now, so I'm getting my fill of it. Bethany also asked a Disney question, and she said you can only eat at 3 Disney restaurants, assuming they're all opening. So we'll just assume they're all open, character meals and everything. What are your choices? So I would say if I could only pick 3 character meals to go to, this is so tough. I would pick 1900 Park Fair because we really love the food and the atmosphere is really fun. I would pick Topolino's Terrace. That's a new one. We've only done that one time for breakfast with the characters. I loved the characters. I loved the atmosphere. It was just bright and airy and just really comfortable, and the food was really good as well. So 1900 Park Fair, Topolino's Terrace. You're gonna make me pick only one more. I feel like Ohana is what's coming to mind, which is really interesting because I do really like the breakfast there and I really love Stitch. So we'll go with Ohana for breakfast. So Ohana for breakfast, 1900 Park Fair for dinner, and Topolino's Terrace for breakfast. That's my answer. It's really tough. Chef Mickey's is a favorite, but if I had to pick one for myself, I would probably pick Ohana because their breakfast just edges it out slightly. Like my whole family as a whole really likes Chef Mickey's. That being said, all 3 of the meals I just named off are character meals, and I don't know that any of those are opening up when Disney World opens up again. With the asterisk, I think Topolino's Terrace is. The characters are just not coming around to the tables. So that's my pick. She also asked, what are your all-time favorite souvenirs from Walt Disney World? This is a really interesting one because I'm not a huge like souvenir person. Like I'm a person that like I'll order stuff because I like the stuff or I like, you know, using cute things. You know, like so say this cup, like I don't know, I got it because it's practical. And I guess it was a souvenir because I got it was there. But souvenirs, if you haven't noticed from our souvenir hauls, are not really a huge thing for us. Like I don't really like feel like I have to get a t-shirt every time I go someplace. I used to be like that when I was younger and I think I burnt myself out on it. That being said, my favorite things that I probably ever have gotten from a Disney trip are things that I didn't buy and that were really cool and unique. So for example, and this was from I guess more the cruise because it was on our stateroom door, like the Disney Creators magnet that I have hanging up behind me, that is just really unique and you can't buy that. So the Disney items that I have like that, like I have a phone charger that was given to me as a promo item that's Disney. You can't buy it anywhere. Really cool. This thing's sitting on my desk. It's literally used every single day. We got this, and I actually have a full Disney one, but this is the one that Haynes gave us, and it's got a Disney social media moms thing on it. The lap things, like it's not even something you can buy, but it's probably one of the favorite things I've ever brought back from Disney World with me. So that's probably not the question, or not the answer you were gonna think that you were gonna get to that question, but that's probably it. Other than that, my Tervis mugs, I use these like crazy, like I said, to take to work in the mornings. I really love these. And other things that I like and collect, Alex and Ani bracelets, Dooney and Burke, but I typically buy those things from Shop Disney when I'm home, to be honest. So if I had to pick an item that I bought when I was there, I guess it'd be these Turvis cups. Gino asks, can we have an update on your plant-based journey? So first of all, it's my husband's plant-based journey, because he's the one that started all that. And for him, it's going really good. Like, so he did it for health. He did it to lower his cholesterol. He did it to eat, basically, he doesn't eat red meat anymore, which is great for him. So it's going really well. I think he said that he estimates probably around like 80%. He said it in a vlog not that long ago. 75 or 80%, he's meatless. So, you know, we started the drive to try to do it for the majority of us, and then we found that me and the kids don't like a lot of soy-based things. So that kind of cut that out of our diet for certain soy-based things. For some reason, some of the meats I could eat in the beginning, but it started really giving me stomach cramps. I don't know what that is. It was like the chicken nuggets. I love how they taste, and then I get a miserable stomach ache like an hour later. So we've started to find ways that we can kind of base meals that work around all of us, like something like spaghetti, we can just do meatless, or if we have some sort of meat that he doesn't want to eat, we just find a substitution for him, and then we kind of just do meals that way. So it's going well for him, and it's still working how it's working for us. I will say when we go places like Disney, I really love eating their plant-based options and places where, you know, there's a chef on staff, but I am not a chef, so it works better in places where there's someone that's dedicated that knows how to make those things. So Megan BB asks, if you were to take a trip somewhere other than Disney World, nothing against Disney of course, where would you go? And it's funny because we've actually talked about this for the summer, and we had actually hoped to do a couple trips this summer that now I don't know if we're gonna do. So I talked about taking everyone up to Gatlinburg. We went to Gatlinburg last year as a girls trip, super fun. We went to Dollywood and did all the Pigeon Forge stuff and all that kind of thing. I had hoped to take the kids to Dollywood, and I don't think we'll do that this year, but we have talked about that, just renting a cabin and going up there. I would love to go down to the beach and, you know, just have a beach trip. But as I've said in other videos, it doesn't really work for my husband. He likes having an itinerary and a schedule and, you know, having a set things that we do. Like, he's not just a go sit on the beach and hang out type of person. So that being said, some other trips that we've talked about doing in the future are going out west for a couple trips. He does want to do that. He wants me to plan it, but he would like to go to Denver, and there's supposed to be a lot of kids museums and stuff like that out there. We've talked about that. And then also when the kids get a little bit older, doing like a Grand Canyon trip, and they're gonna have to be like teens for that. And then also going out west to like Yellowstone. So he basically wants to go like that direction, and I would love to go sit on a beach somewhere, preferably Hawaii, but you know, anywhere works too. So we have to kind of balance that out, because I'm definitely more like the beach person. We both love cruising, and we talked about doing a cruise at the end of the year, and that's not gonna happen now. Cruises aren't even going, but you know, so this year's a little bit odd, but if we went somewhere more local, I think Gatlinburg is kind of the quintessential place that everyone down south goes to. And then if we go a little bit further, we'd like to do some, he primarily, but we as a family, would like to do some things out west. So I'll probably be planning those at some point in the future. Mouse and Main Sweets asks, what is your favorite American Girl doll that you've bought for the girls? So I would say definitely hands down for this one, it's Luciana. And it's because of her story and because of her accessories. So she came with the flight suit, that's the space camp flight suit, that's just a miniature version of the one that you get when you go to space camp. She had all kinds of great STEM accessories. We got the robot kit and a bunch of the smaller accessories. The Taurus accessories with like the little NASA shirt was really cute. So I really liked her for her story being inspiring towards STEM, but then also I loved her accessories. They're just really cute. So she's probably been one of my favorite dolls and sets that we've purchased. And then, you know, I think other than that, they have some really cute accessory sets. This is a retired one, but probably my favorite accessory set, other than some of Grace's. We did really like Grace's accessories too. But it was a Sweet Treats bakery set, really nice wood cabinet with really ornate, very ornate. This has probably been about 10 years ago. All kinds of accessories and little foods and things that go inside of it, and it was really well priced at the time. So I actually kind of wanted those down on the secondary market, and we have that and the sweetheart table that goes with that set. really good quality, very cute set, and I'd say like one of the best accessories that American Girl has ever made. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this really super long question and answer video. I thought this would be fun and just something fun that I could do that I haven't done in a while. So if you have any other questions, feel free to leave those down below and I will tackle those in a future video. But that is pretty much what's going on with us right now. We're gonna be at home all summer long, and then this looks like it's gonna be live for us for a while. So when I do know what's gonna go on for the fall, I'm definitely gonna make a video on that because I'm really interested to hear what your school systems have decided to do and what, you know, fall is gonna look like for a lot of us. I just think we're not gonna know until probably mid-July. And then I hope we know by then so we can start planning. But I know it's gonna look different. I just don't know exactly what it's gonna look like. I think that wearing masks is a given. I think that if they go back in the classroom, I think we can kind of expect that. So the girls are wearing masks when we go out. I think I said that at the beginning, and it's kind of also to kind of start getting them used to the idea. But as far as whether they're gonna be alternating days, heavens, I hope not. Alternating days or only in the classroom fewer days a week or doing some online, I don't know about any of that yet. So definitely do a video. Interested to hear what your school looks like, especially if you already know, because I know a few states have had it announced. But we are still waiting here, so fingers crossed. And we will just keep working through this day by day. So that's it for today. Keep living joyfully and try to find the bright spots in life, and I will see you in some more videos coming up very soon. Thanks for watching and have a great day.